Welcome back to another episode of JK Philly. Today we are talking about the Phillies. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We got Tone and we got Camilo back on for another episode talking about the Phillies. Um, like we always specify, I'm the basketball guy. I don't know nothing about baseball. I know I love the Phillies. I got my guys that watch the Phillies and help me try to understand the game when we need to watch it. But today we got our guys talking a little bit about it. So we obviously didn't talk about the last series, I guess, against the Cincinnati Reds. So we're just going to breeze over that. I just want to get from your guys your perspective and thoughts from the last series that we just had against the Nationals.
I was expecting the Phillies to go out there and take 3 games with ease. As we seen with this last game today, the Nationals almost came back in the ninth inning, made it a close game. They scored how many runs in one inning to tie it up in the same game, and it was just too difficult for them to tie the series up against the Nationals, who've been struggling this season. I wish I would have seen more from the Phillies this series alone.
Yeah, I agree. I think seeing the same consistency from Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper, adding Trey Turner onto that like hitting block really helps out our rotation a little bit more because our top end, our bottom half has been snapping towards this latter half of the season, especially with like from six down. I'm pretty sure we're batting above 300, almost all of us.
Yeah,
um, After the All Star break, and being able to put up 11 runs isn't something we should like just overlook. It's similar to what Tone's saying though. When we give up 9 runs after we put up 11, that's scary because if we don't have that much run output, because sometimes we go stale. Not everybody's hitting. We're not like the game before that. They only put 2 runs up on the Nationals. We put up
it's
11 and we still gave up 9.
Yeah, it's a bad sign against the Nationals, who's a weak team. When you're trying to finish out the season, take first place, like we're still 5.5 games ahead of the Mets. And they play the Mariners. They beat the Mariners last night. That's the next team that we're going against. And the Mariners is a pretty solid team. Like we're struggling with like bottom feeders. Like we've struggled with the White Sox that series. We struggled now with the Nationals, and it's just kind of bad. Got me worried a little bit.
The nice thing is, I feel like I've always said this when it comes to the Phillies, we play up or down to our competition. It's nice to see Alec Bohm come back. Obviously, Aaron Nola didn't have the greatest outing,
And
but
that's been all season. His last game, he gave up like 9 runs. That was in May, and now he gave up six. And the game before that, he gave up like six. So Nola has been looking bad this season.
I
And
think Nola's
looking,
just been on a decline ever since after 2022. He just hasn't been the same, especially even in 2022. He just was on a decline. Now that we have Zach Wheeler coming out, probably maybe for the rest of the season, if not until late October, we need somebody else to step up, and that's either going to have to be because obviously have Christopher Sanchez, great pitcher. We obviously have T1 Walker, who's been phenomenal, but we need a
he's been
third
great.
guy in our rotation who's actually going to. And to be honest, we're going to need a fourth guy too because if we're going into 7 game series, a 5 game series, we're going to need to be able to, you know, um, throw 4 guys out there that because we're not just going to throw Christopher Sanchez on 3 4 days rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would like to see Ranger Suarez return to his beginning season form, which that'd be like the best likely outcome of like all this injury stuff. Ranger Suarez for the past few seasons has struggled in the later half
Bladder.
of
Yep.
the latter half of seasons, and it's like frustrating to see because they'll start out so hot, look like a Cy Young winner, and then like slowly fade out. Um, Although that run to the World Series a few years ago, Ranger Suarez did kick into gear, so maybe like he burns out toward the end of the season. Then when there's something to play for, like in the playoffs, he'll kick it back in. We'll see, but yeah, we need these pitchers to step up, especially Nola. Since Wheeler's out, I would love to see Nola return to the form that we all know he can be at, especially at his young age, knowing that he has 5 years left on his contract as a Philly after the season. So
That's huge because 5 years left on his he just signed a new contract, so it's like
yeah,
But I mean, we're trying new people out. We have Luis Castillo coming out versus the Mariners. Obviously, Christopher Sanchez is going to pitch, and so is Ranger Suarez. So all we can hope is that you know those three guys give us solid starts. 6 innings plus, 5 innings plus. Honestly, at that point, because we could probably throw either Tanner Banks, who hasn't been bad for our bullpen. We also have obviously Kirkland, and then thankfully Joan Duran is not too hurt after that pitch to the ankle.
Yeah,
So
everything showed up negative. What I will say about the Wheeler thing is I feel like they caught it early. I was kind of doing a little bit like research. I'm no medical expert or whatever, but I was trying to keep hope for Wheeler's return maybe October. They caught it early, and it says like for the first 2 weeks he can't do anything with his arm. They're already starting the treatment with like thinning his blood to get the blood clots to stop forming, get the blood
right,
clots to go away. And then like week 3 to 4 is like when they start like gradually increasing like activity in the arm. And then after week 4 is like where you can do pre-blood clot activities. But I don't know if that means he'll be able to return or not, pretty much. So I'm thinking he might be done, but I'm kind of holding out hope for him to return by the playoffs. He is a professional. They have like the best medical staff available to them at all times. So I'm sure they're gonna. That's why I'm sure there's no information out yet about
right.
him returning or not. So I'm
No
sure they're
timeline.
just yeah,
Even without Zach Wheeler coming back, if he is there, if he isn't there, regardless, if even if he is there, he probably won't be at his top form regardless. Um, do you guys still assume that the Phillies are going to have a good enough chance without Zach Wheeler, or does our percentage like greatly decrease now because of that?
Uh, Go ahead, Tone. Go start. Go ahead, start it.
I would say Zach Wheeler is our ace. Like you put him on the mound, you have complete confidence that he can keep base runners off the field, and you don't have to really rely on as much as hitting. You're gonna see a significant like difference like in certain games where it's close and you need an ace on the mound to take you far into the game and wait for our hitting to show up. So like, and especially with Nola still giving up all these runs, I think it's gonna be you're gonna have to start to rely on this offense to start putting up the bats. Like luckily Nick Castellanos got a couple hits to get out of his slump. Alec Bohm is back. He hit a couple. He hit a home run. Bryson Stott has been doing well. Brandon Marsh. So like, I believe
Yeah,
the offense
JT,
can
all of
carry
them.
us into the playoffs.
JT's been
I think that
on
I
a
think
tear.
yeah, I think the offense can carry us into the playoffs. It's just about when the playoffs get here is like making me nervous.
I always say it's about how when we start heating up. We were showing a uh like glimpses of being like the best team in baseball. Um, Especially like early August, late June, July, we were probably one of the better teams. And I always said to people, I was like, listen, this is good. We're seeing good things from the Phillies. We're beating a lot of good teams. Taking series, even if it's 2-1. We didn't really sweep anybody, but all that matters is we're taking series wins. But when it comes to late August, when it comes to September, that's really what's going to define how you do in the playoffs. The Phillies in 2022, I always come back to 2022 because we were an 87 win team.
And then JT went on a tear at the end of the season. I remember that.
And then we used that momentum that we got at the end of the season because we weren't going to make the playoffs, but we needed to beat almost everybody we played. We ended up doing that, made it to the playoffs, and then made it to the World Series. So we rode that momentum. Our hitters were hitting. Our pitching was immaculate. Everything started to click. We'll
Yeah.
see how they do. Right now, it's all in the question. Right now, if we don't do too great these next couple games, especially because we have Wheeler out, and Nick Castellanos obviously on a slump, but thankfully we got Alec Bohm coming back. Hopefully Harrison Bader can do something more than what he's been doing.
Yeah. We'll see if it continues.
As we wrap up, then we want to, of course, talk about the Mariners. I know we hinted a little bit talking about them, but just like overall, what are your guys' thoughts, perceptions? Obviously, now that Zach Wheeler's not going to be a part of that, just is this going to be a good test for us, or is this really just like a throwaway game? What do you guys think?
I think it's a test. I think it all depends on. I mean, obviously, we know what we're going to get with Christopher Sanchez. Um, the Mariners have decent pitching. Um, I know we're going up against Luis Castillo's and Logan Gilbert. I don't know who their third starter is going to be,
Yeah, I don't know.
but
I I think the Mariners are they're kind of they're kind of like the red. They're gonna be kind of like the Red Series to me. It's like a challenge, like a difficult team, playoff team. A definitely like a contenting playoff team. Like they're in second place behind the Astros. I
right,
think one game behind them. Um, I think it's gonna be a definite challenge because they got Cal Riley, Jason
yep.
Crawford. They got a good team over there. It's like
They
well
definitely have
balanced.
a deep rotation. Um, they're consistent. I think that's one of the biggest things about the Mariners pitching staff. On top of Cal Riley, who's very good. Probably the
Home run
best hitter.
leader.
Right, probably the best hitter in baseball right now. And he led the league almost the whole year. So it's not like he came out of nowhere. He literally just turned up from the beginning. Edmundo Sosa consistently throughout the year. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I think it's definitely going to be a test. We usually see cracks in the foundation, hoping that it can hold out. Um, Phillies are a good team. They're not a bad team at all. They have good pitching. It's just the little things that we do wrong sometimes. Thankfully, Trey Turner's looking like a defensive prodigy again. Um, we have great defense besides Nick Castellanos in right field, who
Yeah,
is
the outfield
probably
is Brandon Marsh is really playing really well. Harrison Bader is a crazy outfielding like
he's
defender.
great. He's great defensively, and honestly, Nick can hold down right field because what else is he gonna do?
I
What
I
else is he
I
gonna do?
saw an argument on Twitter earlier that said he was the worst player in baseball right now.
Uh, I hate talking down on Nick because he can show glimpses, but that low and away off speed pitch that gets him on the first strike every time. That's one of the things that hurts me because like when are you gonna lay off that pitch?
Oh yeah. Here's another thing: the Phillies, they just played 4 games in a row. They have another series, no break, no game off. So I think that's going to also play a factor into the series. And low key, the Phillies look like they've been struggling against like some of these teams here in these past few series.
Yeah, we'll definitely appreciate you guys coming on. Our Phillies experts. Of course, we're definitely going to have you guys on talking about the Eagles as well when that all starts up. We're definitely ready for the season, ready for the playoffs for the Phillies and everything like that. But appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you. Thank you guys for watching another episode of JK Philly. Make sure you stay tuned by subscribing to the channel.